And hello, party people. Welcome to NRW here. I am your host here today, Rob, the Movie Guy, and I thank you very much for joining me here today because today I am very excited here for me to get into a review series here for a very little-known franchise that I don't think people know exists out there, starring my main man, my favorite actor of all time, Mr. Sylvester Stallone here. And this is for the Escape Plan trilogy here. I'm going to be doing a review here for each film, and hopefully you guys will get to enjoy the review here, and we'll go out of your way to check the films out here because I have a lot of opinions about this franchise here, and this was something that I was not planning on doing here. But given that July is the month that Stallone was born here, and he actually just celebrated his birthday here on July 6th, and the man turned 74 years old. Can you believe that guy's 74 years old? It's unbelievable that in this day and age, like the guys that we grew up watching here are old, but they're still kicking ass, you know, no doubt with some limitations here. But without further ado, let's get into the trailer for the first of the film series here, Escape Plan, and I'll get into my thoughts. So let's roll the trailer here real quick.
The mind of a man confined works differently than someone on the outside. He sees things in a different way.
We got a runner.
Showtime.
We need you to test a top-secret, high-tech prison holding the world's worst criminals.
When do we start?
I'm Warden Hobbs.
House. Where's Warden Marsh?
There is no Warden Marsh. There's no way out.
Go make some friends. You're gonna need them.
Back away. Who were you before you came in here?
I break out of prisons for a living.
You don't look that smart.
You don't either.
The people who paid for you to be here want you here forever.
Someone set me up. I'm gonna find out who, and I'm gonna find out why. I need a diversion.
What's good?
Your time is up!
You tell whoever put me here, I'm gonna burn this place to the ground.
Let's do it.
And there you have it. So the trailer pretty much established what the plot is about here. And the one thing I'm going to say right off the bat, guys, is that I'm not going to get into too many plot details here because what you saw in the trailer is pretty much the plot there. But there's a lot of things that goes on in the film that starts to unfold in front of you that I don't want to reveal because if you've never seen the film, I'd rather you guys watch it because I think that is part of the viewing experience for you to enjoy the film as much as I did. And hopefully you guys do enjoy it because this film is definitely a lot of fun. I mean, this is a really good action film, and my review on this film is going to be kind of it's not a love-hate, but it's rather a super it was a very wonderful experience for me to watch this film for a lot of different reasons. One, because Stallone and Schwarzenegger are finally working together in one single film pretty much for the first time, and then being the starring roles here, of course. And but at the same time, a part of me thought of, why didn't you guys do this a long time ago? Because you guys definitely could have pulled this off here. And if you guys pulled this off back in the early to mid 90s, this definitely could have changed the course of your career, especially with a story like this, where it really could have reached out to a lot of audiences out there who are going to be very excited to see you guys work together for the first time. Because there have been plenty of stories you guys hear about where they have come very close to working on the project together, and then for one reason or another, it just fell through. And a lot of it, I'm sure, had to do with a little bit of this and a little bit of ego and many other things as well. So the fact that these guys were finally working together, albeit in the late 60s now at that time, I still got a kick out of the film. In fact, I can honestly say that as many flaws as there are in this film here, it didn't take away from my enjoyment. In fact, I was very forgiving with all the flaws that are pretty much present in the film here. And I had so much fun watching it, and I had a lot more fun watching it again for this review here. But again, a lot of it during this whole viewing experience here, I just couldn't help but think, like, can you imagine if you guys haven't done this in the 90s, where you guys really could have made that impact? Because although the film was very successful, it wasn't as successful as you would have thought, given that these two actors are working together like this in a single film for the first time. because I believe it cost about $50 some million, $60 some million to make, and overall it made $134 million and some change. So it definitely was a success, which is the reason why I spawned 2 sequels here, which I have a lot of opinions on that on its own. But it definitely didn't have that impact that they would hope that they could get. But it definitely garnered enough interest where it started off a franchise that no one knew existed. I will also point out this too, that as old as these men are now, you can definitely see that in the film they're not going to be able to pull off the same stunts that they were able to pull off way back in the 80s and then even the 90s as well, because age has definitely kicked in for these guys, and you can see that, and especially with a lot of the actions that they have to do in this film here, because there's definitely not a lot of hand-to-hand combat in this film between the two of them, and if there is, it's very short-lived. But again, it didn't take away from my experience in enjoying the film here. One other thing I'm going to point out as a major positive for me is the villain, played by Jim Caviezel, who is most famous for playing Jesus in the Passion of the Christ here. And he was phenomenal. He was definitely not like a very physical villain here, but he was definitely a very menacing and very, I guess I would say intimidating, but intimidating of the position that he was given in, and he knew how to use that. And his reasons for being the villain of the film here, it's pretty generic, but it worked so well, and he does a great job in portraying that in this film here. One of the positive I'm going to point out here too that I thought would be distracting, because I thought that with him being cast in the film, and when I found out what he was, the first time I heard about this film here and what he was going to be portraying in this film, I thought it was going to be one of those like dumb things, like, oh no, it's going to be one of those things that's going to ruin the film, and it's not going to be as good as they hope it's going to be. And that was the fact that 50 Cent got cast in the film as Stallone's hacker in this film. He's a computer whiz in the movie, and I'm honestly very happy to say that he was actually really good. His performance was not distracting by any means. There's none of that 50 Cent ego, if you will, that you would probably see in most of his music videos here. It's a much more subtle performance here, and he does a good job in his portrayal of this character in this movie. And I'm very happy to say that I actually enjoyed him a great deal in this movie, and he was not distracting by any means here. This film was a lot of fun for me, guys, and I certainly enjoyed a great deal of what you got to see for the first time with these actors working together in this capacity here. And quite frankly, we may not ever see that again here. So the fact that we have this one film here, and it's a very good one at that, at least for me it was, and there are some other people that happen to come across that did enjoy the film as much as I did. I'm hoping that you guys will go out of your way and check this film out here, because it is definitely worth your time to look this film up here, buy it, rent it, whatever it is you got to do. Go out of your ways and use your money to check this film out here, because this is definitely worth the time. And this is, again, a piece of history that I don't think many people realize that is right in front of you here. And I'm hoping you guys will get to enjoy that for and understanding what led up to making this film here after all these years of all these potential projects they could have worked on here. And a lot of the projects that I heard they were on the verge of working together, believe it or not, some of them would shock you. You'd think like, holy shit, those guys will be working that film together. One of them, I believe, was Face Off. So it goes to show you where they were going with that here. But again, this was I think a project that came in a little too late, and it's unfortunate, because if this had come out back in the 90s, we probably would have seen a whole different movie here. But I definitely think it would have been a very exciting film for people to watch, having these guys working together for the first time, because they definitely took kind of some slight jabs at one another in some of their films here, Last Action Hero, Demolition Man, and several other little films here and there. And that was a lot of fun to see that these guys were poking fun at one another here, and then how close they could have been to getting a project to come to fruition here. And I'm sure a lot of this came into play, and many other things as well. But again, it was a missed opportunity then, and we finally have the opportunity now to see this come to fruition here. So I'm very happy to say that it is a lot of fun, and hopefully you guys get to enjoy that here. So that is my thoughts on the film here. I certainly will say this film is deserves a very, very high cheers, and I highly recommend you guys to go out of your way and buy this here. I bought this film when it came out on Blu-ray here, and and ever since I've gotten it, I'm not joking, I think I might have seen this film a total of I think maybe 14 times. And I'm not joking when I say this. I truly do love this movie. A lot of fun. and hopefully you guys will get the same enjoyment as I did here. So if you have seen the film, let me know what you guys think here. If you liked it, tell me why you liked it here and why you loved it. If it actually gotten you to feel that way. But I have to say that this is something I'm very, very happy to talk about here because, like I said before, I'm a huge Stallone fan, and I hope you guys will enjoy the work that he has that he has done throughout his career. And this franchise right here, although it's a very, very frustrating franchise, I would have to say here, but this franchise here shows me why he is good at what he does. But at the same time, when in my other reviews here, you'll understand what I'm saying is there at why he's also failed in a lot of things he attempts to do here as well. And so this is a franchise where you get to see the successful side of it here, and then you also see the failure side of it here. So I'm very happy to get into this here for you guys to check out, and hopefully you guys get to enjoy this along the way here. But again, as I mentioned before, if you guys have seen the film, let me know what you guys think. If you hated it, let me know why you hate the film here. And if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button here and help us to reach out our goal. We're trying to aim for 1,000 subscribers here, and we definitely have seen some numbers go up here, so we're very thankful for all the new subscribers that have subscribed to the channel here. And also be sure to share our videos here and also hit that notification button so that way you know any new videos we have coming down the pipeline here. And while you're here, make sure you follow NRW on our social media accounts here. You can follow them on Facebook and on Instagram simply at New Release Wednesdays, and on Twitter at the NRW. And you can follow myself here on my social media accounts. Follow me on Instagram at Rob_Medina0585, and on Twitter, RobMedina0585, and on Facebook simply Rob the Movie Guy here. And until next, everybody, stay safe out there, and cheers.